Nifty holding on to 19,400.
Benchmark indices are up close to about 0.5%. The mid-cap index has gone ahead and hit its fresh all-time high levels.
We were up 0.5%, and now there's only about 50-odd points left. So gains actually have been cut in half on the index. You got the market, which is going to end absolutely flat, and we're just kind of counting down.
Well, hello and welcome to Markets Today, the show where we track 6 hours of the day's trading action in just 5 headlines. I'm Sonia, and these are all the top headlines for the day. Stock markets continue to rally on the back of sustained positive global cues. The Sensex, Nifty and mid-cap indices end in the green for the third day in a row. Oil marketing companies slip 1 to 2%. The government cuts cooking gas prices for all households to offer a reprieve from inflation. Oil Minister Hardeep Singh Puri confirms that Ujjwala beneficiaries will get 400 rupees in total relief on every cylinder of cooking gas. Clarifies that the additional 200 rupee price cut will be borne entirely by oil marketing companies. SoftBank is likely to have sold 1.7% of its over 3% stake in food aggregator Zomato for 950 crore rupees. CNBC-TV18 had previously reported that SoftBank was looking to pare its stake in Zomato. And SBFC Finance gains over 3%, reports a strong first quarter performance. Disbursements are up 32% on a yearly basis. Shakti Pumps fires up on securing an order worth over 350 crore rupees from the Haryana government. ABB India and Interglobe Aviation buzz on brokerage views. Commodity trades firm as dollar index slips from 2-month highs. China stimulus measures support demand outlook. Crude oil prices gain on a decline in US crude inventories. Gold prices are at a 3-week high. And here's the lineup of what we have in store for you in Market Opinion. Anand Shah, head PMS AIF Investments at ICICI Pru AMC. In Big Voices, Hardeep Singh Puri, Minister of Petroleum and Natural Gas of India. Sensex and the Nifty failed to hold on to gains as financials saw a sharp fall. The Nifty and the Sensex ended absolutely flat, while the Nifty bank languished to end over 0.5% lower. The mid-caps continued to outperform today. The mid-cap index soared over 0.5% to hit new highs. IT stocks led from the front. Prashant is here with the details. Prashant.
It started on a positive note because overnight we had the tailwind of the US market, but by close things fizzled out. I mean, the Nifty was actually absolutely flat. The Bank Nifty was even worse off. It ended about 0.6% in the red. Those are the frontline indices, but the broader market, the party continues. No interruption. So the mid-cap index, the small-cap index up on your screen, we've jokingly been calling it the 0.5% compounding small-cap index, and well, it's not very far from the truth with the kind of gains we've seen there. I'll get to stocks in just a bit. The large cap names, so, you had Tata Power, Maruti and Eicher, which were the 3 names which kind of held on their own. Otherwise, it was mostly sideways for larger names. Now, we come to the broader markets, which is where bulk of the action excitement has been. And the names will come up. Zomato, up on your screen. Lots of interest, despite, some of the sales coming to the market from earlier investors. Gokul Das, almost 35%, near 40% at one point in 2 days flat post that acquisition. BSE, that is Bombay Stock Exchange, that stock did well. Indian Hotels doing very well. Spark was up about 10%. These packaging companies, film companies, Uflex was one which stood out. Cosmo First is another one from that space which did very well. Shakti Pumps, the solar pump maker for the agri sector, that was up 20% on new orders that it got. Lemon Tree, Polyplex, Surya Roshni, Atul Auto. We had, of course, the noted investor Vijay Kedia was a prominent investor in Atul Auto with us over the last earlier in the week. Another 10% on Atul Auto. You had Prestige Estates, Sharda Motors, Aarti Drugs, so many names, and that's such a buzzing space, really, that one has to describe. Some losses, some pullbacks, minor, but in the broader market. BEML sold off a little bit. JSW Energy, HBL Power, which has been a stock outperformer. PG Electroplast, again, some pullback after a fantastic run-up. Spandana, JB Chemicals, Genus Power are some of the others. I made this point earlier. Since the Jackson Hole and the Powell speech, NASDAQ is up 4%. The Nifty is flat. So that's essentially the equation we are working with right now. The US market is rallying because markets are thinking that the Fed perhaps will be on hold because data was weak. But we get more data, which I think will reiterate or disprove what the market there is believing. You get the core PCE numbers today, and you got the jobs data on Friday. Back to you.
Okay, thanks a lot for that. Well, broader markets continue to outperform. The Nifty Midcap Index gained 24% in 2023 so far. Vivek is standing by with a list of the big movers from this space. Vivek, over to you.
Well, thank you so much. Especially in the last month, we've been highlighting how the broader end of the markets, mid-cap space, small-cap space, stocks from the Nifty 500, how they've outperformed, and they've outperformed quite significantly. In fact, in 2023, the outperformance has been quite stark. Just in terms of the index movement itself, the individual stocks have moved much higher. So mid-cap index up 24%, small-cap up 25%, Nifty 500 up 10%, versus just around 7% as far as the Nifty itself is concerned. But let's have a look at some of the gainers, when you're talking about today's trading session. And in fact, if you're looking at names in today's trading session, have a look at names like Uflex first. When you're talking about Uflex, this particular stock has gained 23% in this particular week itself. Today, on the back of an upgrade from HDFC Securities, BSE is up almost 7%. Pokerna, this particular stock, up almost 9.5% in the session. Other stock that we're tracking is Sun Pharma Advanced, stock up 16% in just the last couple of trading sessions. And when you're talking about Singer India, this particular stock up just 2% today, but in the last 5 trading sessions, the stock is up over 30%, in fact 32% higher in just the last 5 trading sessions. Apart from that, last couple of trading sessions, we've been talking about how the agrochem space, agriculture stocks, chemical stocks, and that entire basket has been outperforming. So look at names like India Pesticides, this particular stock up 30% in the last 3 trading sessions, Neogen Chemicals and 10% in 3 days, and Bodil Chemicals, again another stock which is up 18% in just the last 3 trading sessions. Some of the stocks that we are highlighting today because of very strong volume action, Sharda Motors, up almost 11% in the session, Mahindra Life Spaces, this particular stock up 4.5%. Typical, when you're comparing it to the typical 5-day, 10-day average, very strong volume seen over here. And 2 names from the border markets, Visakha Industries and Asian Granito, home improvement team, these stocks too are buzzing, doing very well. Some stocks that we're highlighting today, seeing a bit of correction, Jupiter Wagons down at the lower circuit, and Electronic Smart. Both of these stocks have seen stellar rally, but today seeing a bit of profit booking from the higher levels.
Okay, thanks a lot for that, Vivek. Well, in market opinion, Anand Shah of ICICI Prudential AMC believes that earnings recovery is now broad-based, with stress sectors also showing improved earnings. He also shared his insights on the defense space. Take a look.
I think it's more broad-based. So I think the earnings recovery is not in the specific consumption segment, but it's more broad-based across utilities, cap goods, manufacturing, and obvious consumption continues to grow. What has changed in last 3 years is a lot of these stressed sectors have deleveraged significantly. The earnings have improved. There has been a significant re-rating that has happened in defense companies in general. No doubt, the news flows continue to be strong, not only from India's own defense spending, which is growing. On top of it, we are doing more indigenization. So, Atmanirbhar is making sure that the defense companies in India can grow faster than the budgets at which our defense budget is going up. And the most recently, I think we are seeing in some of the companies, we are getting exports orders from friendly countries.
All right, on to the second headline now. Oil marketing companies slipped 1 to 2% as the government has cut cooking gas prices by 200 rupees. Petroleum Minister Hardeep Singh Puri confirmed that the Ujjwala scheme beneficiaries will receive a 400 rupee benefit per cylinder, which includes the existing 200 rupees subsidy and the additional price cut of 200 rupees per cylinder that was announced yesterday. Puri hinted that though the existing subsidy would be borne by the government, oil marketing companies would have to bear expenses of the price cut. He also said that OMCs have shown that they are good corporate citizens. He said that both OMCs and the government have collaborated to make this price cut possible. Take a look.
It's a 200 rupees straight cut for every LPG cylinder. And in addition to that, the beneficiaries of the Ujjwala scheme till yesterday were 9 crore 60 lakhs. All of them were getting a 200 rupees payment under DBT, which was going straight into their khata. For them, it's a 400 rupees benefit. That is 200 rupees gas cylinders reduction from 1100 to 900, plus their subsidy, it comes down to 700. OMCs in the first quarter of the financial year, madam, I'm talking about April, May, June, they all posted very healthy profits. And I just want to share a secret with you. When I used to sit down with my colleagues and friends, the CMDs, and they used to say, sir, under recovery ho rahi hai, ye nahi ho raha, wo nahi ho raha, daam badh raha hai. So I used to say, but you're also good corporate citizens. Today I can tell you with confidence, they've demonstrated that they are good corporate citizens.
Well, the third headline today, Zomato rallied over 5%. SoftBank has likely sold over 1.7% of its 3.3% stake in the food aggregator. Sources have told CNBC-TV18 that the transaction amounts to almost 950 crore rupees. Nisha joins in to take us through the contours of this transaction. Nisha.
That's right. In a large block trade, SoftBank is the likely seller of 1.17% stake in Zomato as the lock-in from the Blinkit transaction 1 year back ends for this particular investor. Remember that last week we had alerted that the lock-in period for the Blinkit transaction shares in Zomato for 3 of the venture capitalists were to end on 25th of August, and it is now tradable. So in the last 3 trading sessions, we have seen blocks worth over 3% stake in Zomato being done. Tiger Global and SoftBank are the likely biggest sellers in this particular transaction, and shares worth about 2,400 crore rupees have been sold. As for SoftBank, they have made a good amount of profit of about 24 rupees per share, because their implied value for this transaction 1 year back was at about 70 to 71 rupees per share, and they've sold it at around 94-95 rupees per share. The stock has been gaining on the back of the supply coming in, that overhang being lifted, and also a slew of brokerages really giving a positive commentary on the outlook for the profitability of the company going forward.
All right, Nisha, thanks a lot for that. Well, moving on, the Securities Appellate Tribunal has refused to provide interim relief to Zee promoter Puneet Goenka. This is in connection with the SEBI order that barred him from holding key managerial positions in listed companies. However, the tribunal has noted that it was not satisfied with the time taken by the market regulator for investigations. Yash joins us now with details on that. Yash, take us through what the tribunal said.
Well, Sonia, day one of this legal showdown, if I could call it, of the second edition of this legal battle between Puneet Goenka and market regulator SEBI. As far as today's hearing is concerned, Puneet Goenka's counsel raised 2 important points. The first one was with respect to the allegation where Puneet Goenka's counsel very clearly stated that all these transactions which are in question, all the SL Group entities which are in question, all these transactions are material transactions, they are legit transactions, business transactions, and not just, as SEBI claims, book entries or bogus transactions. The second point which Puneet Goenka's counsel raised was with respect to the timeline which SEBI stated with respect to completing its investigation in the Zee matter. SEBI said that they'll take about 8 months to complete the investigation. Puneet Goenka's counsel saying that that's too long to keep Puneet Goenka outside office, when no charges are substantiated against Puneet Goenka in this particular matter. That particular argument was also acknowledged by the Securities Appellate Tribunal, which said that of course, SEBI taking 8 months, just to investigate and keep Puneet Goenka outside office is too long. As far as the final order from, so to say, from Securities Appellate Tribunal is concerned, it did not give any interim relief to Puneet Goenka in this particular matter, putting an interim stay on this order. But what Securities Appellate Tribunal has said is that after Zee's arguments today, SEBI will have to file a reply to these arguments in the next 3 days, after which Puneet Goenka will have to file a rejoinder, and the court will hear the matter again for a final order on September 8th.
All right, thanks a lot, Yash, for that. Well, the MSCI adjustments will come into effect tomorrow. Vivek is here to get us a recap of their August review. Vivek, over to you.
Well, that's right. On August 11th, we had told you about how MSCI had gone ahead and announced a list of stocks that would be added to the MSCI Global Standard Index. All of these changes will happen in tomorrow's trading session, and this is a net inflow event as far as India is concerned. Almost $1 billion of inflows will come into India in tomorrow's trading session. Which are the top stocks that we have to keep an eye out for that will become part of the Global Standard Index? Astral, expect inflows of close to $176 million here. Cummins India around 178. Ashok Leyland over $200 million. IDFC First Bank over $200 million. HDFC AMC over $150 million. Both REC as well as PFC close to 190 to 210, and Supreme Industry over $177 million. On the other hand, ACC will be removed from the Global Standard Index. Close to $98 million of outflows will be seen from this particular name. Apart from that, even in the MSCI India Domestic Small Cap Index, quite a few changes will be made. 41 inclusions and 2 deletions are announced in the MSCI India Domestic Small Cap Index. Lastly, regarding the Adani stocks, in this particular index review, there will be no changes made. MSCI has deferred all of the changes of the Adani Group stocks to the next review, and after that, they will give an update on that particular group.
Okay, Vivek, thanks a lot for that. Let's slip into a short break, but we will be back in just a bit with all the other headlines that we've been tracking today. Welcome back. You're still with us on markets today. Let's go to the rest of the headlines that we're tracking for you now. The fourth headline today, SBFC Finance jumped over 3% on the back of a good performance in the first quarter. The company had reported a strong yearly growth in disbursements and assets under management. Abhishek Kothari is here to give us more details on all of that. Abhishek, over to you.
Well, it looks like a healthy quarter that they have had in Q1 FY24 for SBFC Finance. So disbursements are up 32% YOY and about 3.6% quarter-on-quarter. AM growth is much healthier at 46.8% YOY and about 7.8% quarter-on-quarter. So the part of disbursement moving to AM, that's about at 58-59%, which looks like tenure has increased over here, and that's aiding the AM growth for an SME financer. Asset quality has improved. Gross NPA ratio is down by 3 basis point to 2.54%. In terms of net interest margin, it's down 40 basis point both YOY and quarter-on-quarter. However, the spreads are at 7.63%, which improved from 7.5% in the same quarter last year and about 7.56% in the previous quarter. The NII growth is about 44.5% YOY and about 4.5% sequentially. The PAT growth is at 46.5% YOY and about 9.8% sequentially. Back to you.
Okay, thanks a lot for that. In more stock-specific news, though, Shakti Pumps was flying in trade after receiving an order worth 358 crores from the Haryana Renewable Energy Department. Surbhi Sutaria joins in with more. Surbhi, over to you.
Thanks so much for that. So as you said, they have received an order under the Kusum 3 scheme from the Haryana Renewable Energy Department for close to 7,800 pumps, and the work order is for 358 crores. Now Kusum 3 scheme has been in the works since 2019, and there were some delays due to COVID, but in Q1 FY24, in the management did say that in March 2023, the Solar Energy Corporation had sanctioned the release of tenders of nearly 9 lakh pumps, and they had started receiving the letter of empanelment from various states. Now the company expects to start the execution of these pumps from the month of September, and they anticipate a monthly installation capacity of nearly 10,000 to 15,000 pumps. In the next 2 years, they see this opportunity size growing to 1 lakh pumps, and for that they have the manufacturing facilities and the working capital on their books. So on the basis of that, they expect a 20 to 25% revenue growth for FY24 and EBITDA margins of 10%, which they haven't seen in the last 3 fiscals. So Kusum 3 orders is a big growth trigger for Shakti Pumps.
Okay, thanks a lot for that. Well, ABB India gained close to 1% after UBS initiated a buy rating on the stock. The brokerage firm said that the company's approach to structural growth is comprehensive. Vivek is here with the details.
Well, a very interesting note from UBS on ABB. They continue to keep ABB India as their top industrial pick with a target price of close to 5,400 rupees a share. UBS recently interacted with ABB India's top leadership team to understand the broad sectoral trends, and here are the key takeaways. Number one, what they say is that ABB now has close to $11 to $20 billion of a total addressable market, of which 75% alone is from motion as well as the electrification theme. Apart from that, what they're saying is that the conventional sector customers are now using their free cash flows towards spending towards efficiency as well as energy transition solutions. Apart from that, what they're saying is that emerging sectors such as data center, mobility and renewable industries are leading the market growth as far as ABB is concerned. Lastly, what they say, the profit pool expansion is being driven by 3 key factors. Number one, addition in new target segments, productivity arbitrage, as well as expanding reach to both tier 2 as well as tier 3 cities. Lastly, UBS says that the approach to structural growth is more comprehensive now, and the focus as far as bottom line growth too is quite visible, which is why they continue to keep ABB as their top industrial pick.
All right, thanks a lot for that. Well, in more brokerage outlook, Interglobe Aviation tumbled nearly 2% today. IIFL released a note on that, and they spoke about the concerns there. So the stock was down 2%. IIFL continues to have a buy on the stock. They have a target price of 3,300 rupees. Now, they say that the red flag for the industry is a sharp widening of the crude jet kerosene spreads at the moment, and this may result in a double-digit percentage increase in the price of ATF on the 1st of September. So the price of aviation turbine fuel might rise on the 1st of September, and that may lead to a possible small loss for the company in the quarter to come. So it's just because of higher crude prices that they talk about, the operational pressure. Otherwise, the business is doing fine. The passenger traffic continues to remain strong. Volumes in August are likely to be up by 25% year on year, while year to date the volumes are up almost about 21%. But the fifth headline today, commodities traded firm as the dollar index slipped from 2-month highs. China's stimulus measures supported demand outlook. Crude oil prices have gained on the back of a decline in US crude inventories. Manisha joins in with a wrap on the commodity markets. Manisha.
It has been a good day for commodities across sector because the dollar index has come off its highs of 104, and that has been supportive. The CME Fed Watch tool says that 86% probability of Fed not changing rates in the month of September. That gives a sigh of relief to the sector as well. And then the China stimulus measures, plenty of them is what we've seen in last fortnight, have been supportive. Markets do believe that as the building season starts and as these stimulus measures start to get executed, you will see change coming in on ground in sense of demand from China. So the crude oil prices have seen strength, and we've seen them trade at around 2-week highs right now. Also, the decline in the US inventories at a big chunk of 11 million barrels is what has been supportive. The hurricane Idalia also may disrupt the crude facilities at around Gulf of Mexico, is added premium to prices. That's about energy, but precious metals were on a high too. You have the gold prices trading at a 3-week high, silver prices trading at a 4-week highs, and we markets are looking at the weakness in US dollar and the treasury yields as a supportive factor. Base metal prices also have had a good day for a fourth straight session today. Here as well, it is about the China stimulus measures which will start taking form on ground. And the markets do believe that the Chinese demand will start coming back for the month of September and October. That in turn also has been supportive. The street is looking for the second quarter GDP revision coming in from US today. And then it's about the US non-farm payroll data. Well, that's on Friday.
All right, with that, it's a wrap on this edition of Markets Today. As we end the show, we leave you with some market opinion coming in from Anand Shah and Dean Kim. More news and updates continues right here on CNBC-TV18.
Indeed, again, financials will remain the most leveraged sector in the country. I think we remain optimistic that they being the most leveraged to the economy, and since our outlook on economy remains constructive, we believe banks can continue to do that.
I look at the Sensex and, right now, obviously it's trading below the 50-day moving average, and next support is at the 100-day moving average, so it's about 2% away. So I think it's important that the index retake the 50-day moving average, and then after that, resistance would be, currently resistance is 50-day moving average, but resistance after that would be the recent highs. I think that's stemming from weakness that we've seen in Asia. So particularly with China reporting such bad numbers, obviously now they're trying to, implement some stimulus. And so we are seeing some positive reaction within Asia.